Hey guys, this is Justice for All podcast. Censorship. We're just talking about the Alex Jones in the middle of talking about what censorship is, all this stuff, where this all can lead, what this all means coming forward, and all of that and stuff. So Gage, could you remind the folks what we were talking about?
Yeah, so I was saying that, since one thing that I said was good was that if you look at like Twitter and stuff like that, where Alex Jones isn't banned, in like the news networks posting about him and all that, you look at the vast majority of comments and they're actually supportive of Alex Jones, even though they don't like him. They'll say something like, I hate this guy or whatever, but I don't think that he should be banned from these platforms because he has the right to free speech. So I think a lot of people have that idea, at least, even if they don't agree with him. But I was also saying that, where does it end? Like I said, Ben Shapiro might be banned next because there's riots at his, public speaking events at UC Berkeley, or they could get rid of Joe Rogan for, conspiracy theories, whatever. And, it's like, where does it end? Once you open up the can of worms, then, you fall down a rabbit hole and, more and more, you open up more and more stuff to being banned. Whenever you give like giant companies or the government an inch, they take a mile. So you let them ban Alex Jones, and then, pretty soon you'll have them banning whoever they want to because it's their platform or whatever.
Sure.
And yeah. Uh-huh. And like I was saying too, I think one of the problems in our society is that people don't know enough history of the world. I mean, you look at different, like, we're not the first, this is not the first time something like this has happened where free speech gets banned. And, you look at countries where it happened, China, the Soviet Union, all that.
Germany.
Look how it ended up. It's like, Germany during
Cuba,
World War II. It's like, you look how it ended
Venezuela
up. You really want to end up down that path? And then, like, these people just keep mindlessly following these ideas, and it's like, you're opening us up to socialism, communism, whatever. It's like, and then we're going to be in 10 times worse shape than we are now.
Yeah, and now you're seeing like people like Ocasio-Cortez coming out and who talks about socialism, and she's so stupid. She's like, I want everyone to have free healthcare, free this and that, and like her ideas are like triple our fucking debt. And it's like we would obviously go bankrupt, or like, our taxes would be like, I don't know, over 65%.
Well, they just released a study the other day that put a price on Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez's healthcare plan. It was something like $32.6 trillion over 10 years. Well, that's not sustainable.
Well, let's look at some of the facts. California thought about doing these kind of things before, and then they had a vote and they had to stop it because they figured out that if they did that, they're already in a lot of debt, but it would bankrupt the state if they provided health care for everybody. So that got vetoed even in California. Another policy that they are saying that they want to do, they just want to give people money, which we look like, if you see like in Ontario or in Canada, they tried doing this and they shut it down like in like a month or like 3 months, because it turns out when you give people free money, they don't work. And so so they stopped that shit right away. So it's like you see it time and time again. Venezuela, all this shit that they've turned from a capitalist to a dictatorship not too long ago, and now they're like one of the poorest countries ever. It's like all these ideas, even currently, are bad. And why do you think?
Yeah, it's like they've never worked in the past, and they're not going to work now.
Why do you think why do you think citizens from America usually don't move out of America, but everybody and their brother wants to come here? Because this is the greatest fucking country, and we have rights here. That's the fucking truth. Like we have rights that other people don't have, and that's what they want. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to suck America's dick, but come on, people, like really. You don't even need to read any statistics to fucking figure that out, honestly.
Yeah, it's like, how many refugees from here do you see going to different countries?
You don't see, you don't see fucking a bunch of, Floridians in Miami take fucking tires to Cuba, do you? No.
Yeah, it's like you look at the Cuba. Cuba's a prime example. They're a fucking communist country. You literally have people floating across the freaking strait there, trying to get to Miami in a freaking inner tube, trying to get to the United States to live here because of the communist regime in Cuba. It's like starving their people.
Yeah, it's definitely never the other way.
But these people, these leftist people, keep wanting to move in that direction. And it's like, do you not look at any of these other countries? It's never worked. Oh, but Bernie Sanders will slap the label on it's not socialism, it's democratic socialism. It's like they're the same fucking thing.
It's the same thing, and then you just put Democrat in front of it, it doesn't change what it is.
No. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. And like you were saying, yeah. It's like if he got elected and he did everything that he wants to do and our taxes got raised to 65, 70%, it's like, I'll be damned if I'm going to work. I'm not going to freaking work to bring home 30% of my paycheck. It's
no,
like, that's
when you
bullshit.
can get fucking money for free and then just live off all this free shit. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'll be a freaking free rider at that point because it's like there's no point in working.
Here's what I would do too. If I found that shit out, like they got elected, I would go to the bank, take out all my fucking cash.
Yeah. And what these people don't realize too is like, so they're promising free healthcare and free college tuition and all that. It's going to it raises your taxes to say 65, 70%. You still have to pay rent. You still have to, buy food. You still have to afford a car payment.
No, Gage. No, you're wrong.
Do that
no, you're fucking wrong.
Income?
No, because they want to give you free food and free housing.
Yeah.
They want to give you... No, they do. I'm not kidding. She said, I want to give every American free housing, free medical. It's like, are you fucking dumb? That's what we're talking about. Like, they want to give you everything for free, Gage.
Yeah.
But
it's like,
what the hell?
Yeah,
where's the money coming from?
Sustainable.
See, here's the thing. But they want to be your daddy. They want to control everything in your life because they just want it all because they're power-hungry motherfuckers. And what the government can give you, they can take away, and including your rights.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the dilemmas that I face. That's one of the dilemmas that I face with, the situation that we're talking about now with like Alex Jones and stuff. It's like, should the government get involved to regulate Facebook and YouTube and stuff to stop this? And I'm like, I don't know if they should, because then you open up another can of worms. If the government's going to regulate the internet, then then you just end up like freaking China.
The government needs to step in to press these guys. They need to say, because I'm telling you, the law, it's either their platform or content provider. They need to bring these guys to court. They just need to ask, are you platform or are you content provider? Plain and simple. Whatever they answer, their platform. All right, you guys have to let everyone speak. This is what you say. This is, because if you're a content provider and you start banning people, you're not saying what you are. You're this instead of this legally. This is a legal thing. You're this instead of this. And if you're the content provider, then you open up the can of worms that they're infringing on copyright restrictions and stuff. Because as content providers, they need all the licensing and all that. They need it's a whole other ballgame for these people. They're not that. They're selling information by them. If they're that, then they can ban Alex Jones. I agree. There's something different because right now they're not fully private. They have people invested in their stock into you say this is why we're giving your money. Why aren't you saying this? They have obligations to those people, Gage. I want to get in. This is part of what's good for us right now because I think we could clarify the law. But they're like, I'm worried because these people are spying us and they don't know. That's the difference between them and us. Like, I'm not an expert in law by any means, but I understand the internet, and I've read about this quite a bit to understand that this is what it is. I don't know if the people that are in charge making the rules right now do understand just because of their age. Shit. But they better know how to use Twitter, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I agree, like, if you take them to court, that's one thing, but I was talking more of, like, legislative, like,
no.
Congress is going to start writing laws to, ban someone or like ban a certain type of speech or protect someone or whatever, it's like then you open up a can of worms by letting the government into something that's totally private right now. Too much.
Well, I agree. However, I think the government should, get involved if it gets to a point where it starts affecting our elections or affecting the information people are getting. Because again, I'll be clear, if there's some kind of liability, if I'm not mistaken, or an obligation that these people have to their investors and shit, like I was saying. And if they are violating that trust, which is exactly what I said, they're constant. This is why these people give them money. They're pissed. You're seeing actually right now that they're losing money left and right. Like, so we're seeing like the market kind of correct itself. But again, if these guys are still, shit, they're all on the same side and they're like over 90% of the content online. Is that really relevant? That's the kind of thing where I'm at, because it could get to a point where I'm at a pass, because if enough people get banned, will there be another thing? And is that possible? If there's like drastic enough loss, and then the amount of people, so maybe, probably, because like we were saying, these companies are still relatively young, and shit can change really quick. We've seen that, and hopefully that's the case before it gets too bad. But we have to hold them liable. If they're this, they have to do this. But again, if they're content providers, they're fucked. So how I see it is, I don't even think it'll get to the point where the government needs to step in, because, I think Alex Jones will probably get his shit back before they're going to have to address that issue, because I think eventually that issue will come. How soon, I don't know. But if it becomes to a point where it's going to start affecting information people get for, like, especially elections and things like that, especially because, like I said, they are reliable for 90%. They have obligation. I think they'd have to answer to a lot of people, and the government should take initiative, because then they need to protect us from our right to information as people of America. They're clearly hiding information by then. So then it might become a legal thing, maybe. I don't know. I'm not clear on the law on that point, so don't quote me. But I would say that then the courts and stuff, as elected officials, would then say, because then, like you're saying, they're obligating in obviously like a monopolistic fashion. It's not what we think competition is. It's clearly there's an agenda, and it's not a diverse agenda. So then people are then deprived of information, and we can't have that in this country either, because people have a right to know what is going on. The Constitution, the right to fair press, freedom of the press. People need to be informed. That is the thing. If these people are inhibiting that, they are probably violating laws. I'm not a lawyer or anything, and I don't know, like I said, so I'm not an expert. But there could be problems there too eventually. Maybe not now. Maybe they can figure that out now. But there's, like I said, a lot of gray areas. I think over time it'll either correct itself out or get really bad. We will see. But I think hopefully, yes, it will level out. I hope so. But really, we need to keep raising awareness. This has to stop, and we need to solve this soon before it gets bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for one, I don't think that Alex Jones is going to get his channel back, because I think this will be a big thing for probably a couple weeks, and then people will forget about it, unfortunately. Do you know if he's planning on suing?
Well, here's the thing. I'll tell you some numbers too here. Alex Jones launched an app recently, like 2 weeks ago, maybe. So you can get all of this. I'm gonna plug this right now because I think it's important. You can get Alex Jones, Infowars, all that on any app provider. They do have the app, the Infowars app. You can download for free now. That's all of his information. Go to Infowars.com to see his videos on that, just like that. He just can't go live and upload things anymore. But like I said, he does all that on his Twitter, at RealAlexJones on Twitter. So yeah, he's definitely still available. His app is #1 most downloads amongst news organizations right now in America, and in the world he's #3. So yes, he has a lot of popularity right now. A lot of people are downloading his information, so that's really good to see. So I think right now they are backing him. Again, I think it's more like, obviously people don't believe him, but maybe they're just doing it out of, hey, we got, it's good to back him. Like I said, even if we don't believe him, I'm definitely going to post stuff about Alex Jones. And then the other thing is, so yeah, you can do that. And I think today he was talking about, he's going to, they're talking about what to do. So I'm sure there's going to be some legal action or something. But for now, he's doing pretty well still. It doesn't seem to be affecting what he's doing. Like I said, he has the most downloads right now on the App Store for the last 3 days. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like the whole situation with Bill O'Reilly whenever he got kicked off Fox because of the whole allegations that it was back during the Me Too thing. But now he has his own radio show and he has his own website and stuff, and he's still doing pretty well from what I've gathered. But so I mean that might just be the way it is in the future. He's just operating on his own website, and I mean you'll have the app and stuff like that. But I thought Apple's banned the app. They didn't.
Well, I was able to listen to all those channels on the Apple apps, at the Apple podcast app. So download the Apple Podcast app. If you have a smartphone, you can hear Alex Jones' all his broadcasts. It is 3 hours delayed. You never get it live, but you can hear it.
But I thought they got. Did you listen to it today? Or
yeah.
Yesterday?
It's still up there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not on iTunes. It's not on iTunes or anything like that anymore.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But the Apple the podcast app for Apple does work with Alex Jones right now. And like I said, on our YouTube page, we are going to start posting some videos. Fuck Alex Jones if he sues us. I'm going to tweet at him too, saying, "Hey man, we're doing this. Support you, Alex." But yeah, again, I think he will though, Gage. I think he will get his thing back, or there's going to be another thing to where I think more. I mean, it's not going to be immediately, but I think there's going to be a time where it's do or die. If he does get it back and he's allowed on Facebook, it's not going to be public at all. But I think that's really it. And if not, I think it would be the demise of YouTube and all of them. I think they would go under eventually. Facebook might not because they own Instagram, which is a very popular social media app right now. So that's good for Zuckerberg, I guess. And Google is Google, so they might just okay, we'll leave this alone for right now. They'll probably let him back on YouTube. That's what I'm saying. I don't think there would be because fuck
yeah.
But I mean we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. I think it'll be a bloody battle. Hopefully just in court, or something.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I hope he gets his channel back, and I think he should because, I mean, from all the things that we described. Also, I was going to talk about, too, how you talked about maybe the government regulating, Facebook and stuff due to, election interference. And I think that is opening up another can of worms too, because I mean, then you could say that any viewpoint that's opposing, their viewpoint is election interference or whatever. Because I mean, I've seen different things that they've tried to paint. The whole walk away movement. They're trying to paint that as a whole Russia, interference movement or whatever.
No,
even though it's not.
No. I mean, my point being is that they ban all the right-wing perspectives. That is definitely election. That is not okay. The government needs to stand in because.
Oh yeah.
It would definitely affect our elections because it's all like-minded stuff only being presented to the public. That's wrong. That is definitely wrong. There's no other viewpoint.
Brainwashing.
Exactly. So not the fact that people getting information from other sources. I say. The government shouldn't be let's talk about Facebook and stuff. Like I said, if they're a platform, who gives a fuck? Promote whoever gives you money can fucking promote. Who cares? The government needs to have, if they have the intelligence agencies need to do their jobs better to stop these things. It's not the people or the government's obligation to regulate any of that. I agree. However, if our own companies start banning like people, especially obviously with the particular point of view, especially one that they don't like, it could swing our elections, and it would be 100% like domestic, nothing foreign. That I really think the government should get involved and say, hey, you guys, are clearly this, and this. You're infringing on rights. You can't do this anymore. Um, whether they disband them or penalize them, whatever. But if it gets to that point, I think it would be bad. Again, is banning Alex Jones right now doing that? No, it will eventually, and then we will have to address that problem because we know that's exactly what like I laid out before. It'd be foolhardy to say that it is just Alex Jones. No, it's clearly going to be conservatives next, and it's not just because I'm a center conservative. It's clear. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah. So it's a scary thing. So what do you think about that? Would you agree then? Like that I clarified. Does that make sense? What I was saying?
Yeah. I just didn't get what you were saying at first, but
no.
Okay. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, because they're obviously trying to brainwash, like you said, an agenda. That's clearly not right. Especially, like we said, these are platforms that claim, we're not liable. Mm-hmm. You can say what you want. Here it is. That's clearly not what's going on. Government should step in.
Well, and my thing is, too, it's like, with a lot of these big companies like Google and, Facebook and stuff like that, it's like, I don't understand how they don't violate antitrust laws. Because they're so big and they control so many. It's just like Comcast. It's like they control so much of the market portion. It's like I don't know how the government hasn't either split them up into separate companies or stopped them from merging and stuff. Because I mean, you look at it and Facebook. A couple of years ago, they tried to buy Snapchat. Snapchat wouldn't do it. But I mean, you would think if they did buy it, they would own every social media platform except for Twitter.
And like LinkedIn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. And it's like you own 3/4 of the market right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have other social media like Tumblr and
MySpace.
Reddit, stuff like that, and MySpace. But I mean, that's a very small market portion. I mean, Reddit's kind of big, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I agree. And here's the thing, like, there's a lot of gray areas, like I said. I hope justice will be served. Sounds like the people are backing Jones, which is really good. My whole opinions on this, like we were saying, I definitely don't think he should be banned. I think you claim to be a platform for people to express their First Amendment rights. That's exactly what you should do, everybody. And it's a shame that this is happening because this is not American at all, like American values at all. And so we're headed for pretty rocky shores because the good news is I really don't think we're that dumb yet. We are understanding what is happening, and hopefully we can turn this around. If it has to get ugly, it has to get ugly. If Facebook, YouTube, Google, you name it, have to go under for this, so be it. I say let the markets have their way because it's happened to let's look in the past when the internet got started. Yahoo, AOL, Yahoo, MySpace. They all were leading at 1.2. So Facebook, you're not immune. Zuckerberg, maybe put more of your time into Instagram. And Google, get your heads out of your asses because Bill Gates is coming for you. You need to figure this out because you're not standing what you are. People like Bill Gates, other people I think would come up with. I gotta give it for Gates too. They don't censor people, like they have pretty honest searches. It's not like when you Google stuff, like the first page is essentially left leaning. I've done the homework. Like I've actually Googled like conservative things on each and Democratic things on each, and it's really remarkable. You should do it sometime. But gotta give it to him. So again, I think these people aren't immune. It'll take time to bring them down though, because like you said, they control all these things. But I think good things are to come overall because I don't think we're that stupid.
Yeah, well, and I think one good thing is that the internet and everybody that uses it, it's a constantly changing place. And like you said, MySpace used to be the biggest social media platform, and like AOL and stuff was one of the biggest search engines and stuff like that. And it's like they all AOL and MySpace still exist, but nobody uses them really anymore. They definitely fell off.
That's exactly. Well, it's because Facebook, because Facebook was simple and made it easy. That's what the thing is. And their motive was, share what you want. That's why everybody liked Facebook. It was free. It was a great place. YouTube, post whatever kind, beautiful things, good ideas, just bad ideas right now. Whatever is influencing them, wake the fuck up. You're either going to lose your shit or, you're just going to have to pay the price. You're going to pay the price somehow. This is not going to end well. Even if you get away with it for a while, it will not end well for America, and it certainly won't end well for these companies anyway. So they need to think about what they're doing, because I think the American people are definitely, and especially if the left keeps going on this thing, because obviously it's Silicon Valley, then there is going to be a red wave in November. Justice will definitely be served if that's the case, because I think the American people will vote Republican. And then you can bet your bottom, if they keep doing this, Trump is going to have an easy, breezy walk down the stage in the 2020 election, because nobody would beat him. He would be untouchable. So, if they really want this, they need to really cut that out. Because I'll tell you what, because the people will...
It's like... Well, the Democrats keep moving further and further left, and they're losing more and more people. Did you look at any of the results from the elections last night?
They were close.
Yeah, but from what I've gathered from them, so Trump was 5 for 5 in his picks.
Yeah.
No matter how close they were, you can say that Ohio, the guy won by 0.9%, but we still won. But if you look on the Democrat side, the people that Bernie Sanders and Ocasio-Cortez supported,
all lost.
The vast majority of them lost. Yeah. They lost to the establishment candidates. So that's still proving that the majority of people still don't want socialism, which is good. They would rather have, some establishment candidate that they know is going to, fuck them or whatever.
You got to love that silent majority.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
like the lesser
of the
two evils, picking an establishment candidate versus the socialist.
I would pick establishment candidate.
I would pick the establishment.
Because I'd rather have some socialist ideas implemented instead of all socialist ideas.
Yeah. That's basically it.
Yeah.
If a Democrat had to be elected, it's like I'd rather have one with the less socialist.
Okay, you can keep Obamacare and fucking some food stamps,
Well, it seems like the new Democrat strategy, especially in Alabama and Pennsylvania and stuff like that, they're running as basically Republicans almost.
Oh yeah.
You look at the people that they're running, they're they're the true moderate person that you would think of.
You want to hear some funny shit?
That still leans Democrat, but
did you hear Obama speak? He's saying I don't endorse pretty much Ocasio-Cortez.
No, I didn't listen to her. I tried not to pay attention to her because she's such an idiot.
Well, he was he was supporting the other candidate or whatever. But pretty much what I heard, it sounded like this: I do not support that crazy bitch.
Yeah, basically. If you listen to her stuff,
I was crazy. But that bitch
Have you listened to all of her stuff about how she was asked about the low unemployment rates and all that, and she's like, well, that's because people are working 2 jobs. And I'm like, that's not how the unemployment rate is calculated. I'm like, you can have 2 jobs or 1 job, you're still employed. So you're going to be calculated in that mix.
If anything, it lowers the unemployment.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's all bad, and so that's the thing. I think they can't get away with this. Is I think that powerless people will prosper eventually. Alex Jones hanging there, buddy. I don't think he's going to lose. I don't think we won't have InfoWars. I think Alex Jones is too big to succeed, like I was mentioning earlier. Most downloads and all that. So obviously, his base at least is still with him. So good for him there. And props to Twitter. I'm going to start using Twitter more often. Facebook not that less. The only reason I have Facebook now is really for family and to provide content. And I like saying some of my ideas because who knows? Some of my friends might not get a little bit of conservative perspective from time to time. So that who knows? So those are all good things that come from that still. But yeah, I definitely would delete my Facebook and I would delete my YouTube channel and all that. I would try to use alternative sources if I could, but it's hard because the majority is still with these people.
I think the real answer is we need to become Redditors.
Yeah. Or send us some money and we can start the new Facebook. The other Facebook. Yeah. It's a great idea Gage and I have. You can send it. Gage, what's your address? Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I ran this one a little bit longer. We're at 30 minutes here on the second one because I didn't know if we could get a 20. So what are you thinking, buddy? Is there anything else you want to add, or?
I think we covered a lot of it, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the rundown. Alex Jones has been wronged. We think either that these internet companies should either say that they're a platform and everyone's allowed to give Alex Jones his shit back, or they are this, which is content provider, and they would have to slap lawsuits about copyright infringement and all that. So they need to be clear on what they're doing. They need to be held accountable immediately, and hopefully everything else will work out. So hey, spread InfoWars stuff. Go Alex Jones. Is that about right, Gage? Would you say?
Yeah, I'd say I agree.
Help him out. Yeah. So thanks for listening to the podcast. This is the censorship episode. And we'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully it won't be as long. So, well, as far as we'll have something sooner than, about a month.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks guys. Have a good one.